Now I've removed the 8 screws because you have 4 on this side and 4 on that side. Now this is where you can actually do damage to your screen or to the other components of the laptop. So what we're going to do is do this so very carefully here. Now, they put tape on it. Okay, so what we're going to do is the screen has a connector. The tape is supposed to cover it, but I've had it off before. So what we're going to do here is there's a little metal clip here, a clip here and a clip here. We usually squeeze them together, and then you pull down gently on the connector and it should disconnect. I have tape on it here. There we go. So I got the tape off. Now I just separated it from the screen here. Focus, and that should make it easier to disconnect here. I need a third hand. They conspire against me. Should lose that attention locking thing on there, huh? There we go. You put tape on it. So this is the signal. This is the thing that sends a signal to that circuit board that's hiding behind this tape. And you need to remove this cable, and then also that high voltage wire I was telling you about. We need to disconnect that because that goes to the bottom of the screen. And on the bottom here is a really thin fluorescent tube. I'll actually show you how thin they are. I got one of those at work. I had to replace one on one of the executives' laptop at work. So they're almost like a hair. They're like a little bit thicker than one of those wires. A little fluorescent tube. They're tiny. And to remove the wire, I usually lift it up and down until it pops out. And that's what it should do. The new screen should have one of these. If it doesn't, then I'm going to have to make a video on how to take this out of this monitor, because these wires are soldered onto the end of the fluorescent tube, and I can show you how to take the screen apart and transfer everything to the new screen. Now I hope the new screen has one of these because it saves you like half an hour. So when you get the new screen, let's say we replaced it because it should not be connected to your laptop anymore. That's what it should look like. So when you put the new screen on, you would just put it down like this, like so. The hinges are still connected, and they should only go in one way. So if you there we go. And then this one, just try to have this thing as centered as possible because you don't want to break the wire or the connector. Because if you break the connector on the screen, you need a new screen, because that circuit board thing is you cannot separate it from the screen. So if you break the connector, you're kind of in bad shape. There we go. So I got it all the way on. Focus. There we go. So it should not come off now. And then you lay that securing tape back down, and then this tape goes down. Because what you have here on your back of your bezel here, you have this little wavy sign thing here. That's actually one of the antennas for your wireless. Because you have one here and you have one here. And then your wireless wire is actually running right along here. So a little tiny little black wire right there. It's kind of hard to see. And then this one right here, there's actually two wires on this side. Because, here, let me see if I can separate the two wires there. Oh, well, there's two wires there. Because one of them is running this way to your little, looks like a microphone right here. You have a microphone here and here. Oh, that's cute. The little wires running down along here. That's kind of cool. So why are there two wires on that side? Is that another antenna? I think that might be another antenna because this wire, focus, This wire is going to this little metal thing. That little metal thing might be another antenna. That might be antenna too. That's kind of cool. So you have 4 antennas on here. That's more than enough. So, because to get everything lined back up is a nightmare, so that's why I like leaving that screw there. And it also gives kind of support when you put the screen back in. It kind of helps line everything up. It makes it like a few minutes quicker to reassemble everything. So, to put this back in, you just don't worry about the tape, because when you attach everything, when you screw everything back down, everything will become tight, and the screws will, or the pressure on everything will attach everything. But put pressure back on that tape on that wire, and everything will be fine. But don't worry about it. I got the 8 screws. This is actually another screen I pulled out of a laptop. This one's actually smashed. The glass on this one's smashed. And this one has an LED backlit. This one's not fluorescent. So I was going to salvage this one, take the LED backlighting out, and put this LED backlighting inside of a fluorescent style one. But this screen is a 15.6, yours is a 14.1. So the backlighting won't fit yours. Otherwise I would have put it in. So, because the LED uses like a quarter of the power. So it's much nicer. And but anyways, I'm going to put those screws. Here, I'll show you how to put the screws back in. They're kind of a nightmare with only one hand, but the screws right here, you just line up the holes. I like putting the top one on first because that kind of holds it so it's easier to line up the bottom. If you put the bottom one in, you kind of change the center of gravity so it wants to flip over on you. So I recommend putting the top screw in first. This is from years of experience. I really recommend this way. I wish I had a tripod. But yeah, you just put the screw in, you line it up to the screen, you put the screw in. You don't need to torque it down, just make it till it's tight, or almost tight. That way you can put the rest of them in, and then when you get both sides on, all 8 screws, then you tighten them down. But you tighten them down until they're snug, and then a tiny bit more. You don't torque them, or you'll strip out the screws, or you'll break the screws. I've taken apart laptops where the screws were broken, or where the holes were stripped out. And that's bad news. So, because if you strip it out, you have little metal shavings that fall down to the bottom where the high voltage